Alright, Nobby. Thanks for that. I guess it's off to the Salachi Mausoleum. I'm just gonna leave without even saying goodbye. Oh, I can't. Goodbye, Nobby. Alright, where is this mausoleum? Right there. Any new locations? Pier 5. I don't think I've been to Pier 5 before, but let's just go to the mausoleum first.
The Salachi family mausoleum was one of the most beautiful buildings I'd ever seen, nestled in an upmarket part of the city of Ankh. It was unguarded because, quite frankly, no one in their right mind would do anything to offend the Salachi family, given their ties to the Assassin's Guild. It wasn't just something that wasn't done, it was also something that wasn't survived.
That's pretty good protection by itself, for the dead.
The Salachi family mausoleum was full of tombs. More chambers, annexes, vaults, sepulchres, and catacombs than a thesaurus.
So pretty important family. Probably the mobsters of the city.
The Salachi...
Alright.
I tried to find Therma's grave, but it was a waste of time. You'd need to be an expert in heraldry or genealogy to even begin to navigate around it. I'll say this for the nobility, they keep their dead well indexed.
It's not that big of a tomb, but I might have an idea of who might be an expert on nobility. And that would be Ilsa. No, not me. Let's get out of here. Ilsa was at Cafe Ankh. Anything new in here? Still haven't done anything with the golem, but maybe that comes later. Oh, Ilsa.
An old flame. Frankly, my life would have been better if she'd stayed out of it.
You came back.
I did.
I'm not staying. Have you heard of a singer named Madame Lodestone?
I've not met them. Sorry.
You wouldn't happen to know your way around the Salachi family mausoleum by any chance?
I'm sorry, Luton. I don't know anything about that.
Well, that's disappointing, Ilsa. I had such high hopes. You date such nobility and important people. I thought maybe they took you in a mausoleum for a date. Where else can we go? We can go to Pier 5 and see what's up with that location, since I don't have an expert on dead nobility. Yet. Hello, good sir.
The watchman had a look of mad dedication about him. It was the kind of look that could only be achieved by someone whose job was so mind-numbingly tedious that their only pleasure came from being blisteringly unhelpful to everyone who came along.
And that's how you know that your job is worth it, because you get to ruin other people's days. This is what I imagine the DMV in America is like. I mean, it's such satisfaction to ruin everyone's day, isn't it?
I take it you're the watchman for this warehouse?
Wow, you're sharp.
You're a slow talker.
People never work that out. I mean, there are so many reasons that I might want to be out here on a pier in the middle of nowhere, but you went straight to the fact that I'm a watchman. Well done.
Well, I'm not a detective for nothing.
That's a real talent you've got there. It usually takes me much longer to take a dislike for someone. Let me guess. Not only are you the watchman for this warehouse, but you are so bored that anyone who comes along is a target for abuse.
You're good. I'll give you that. Sharp as a pancake.
I'm gonna use that in real life. You're sharp as a pancake.
What brings you here?
Research. I'm on an investigation.
You with the watch?
No. I work alone.
So you're a criminal.
No.
This is Ankh-Morpork. We're all guilty of something.
I'm not. Pure as the driven snow.
Oh, yeah? Well, you've just directly violated the patrician's laws about groundless metaphor.
What?
Well, can you prove to me that you're as pure as snow?
Ah, but that wasn't a metaphor. That was a simile.
Because, of course, the patrician is going to be swayed by a pedantic defense like that.
The patrician wasn't an unfair man. He just had a little bit of a short fuse, but he was good. He did his job correctly. Now, my good watchman, let's talk about everything.
When I gave Mundy's description to the watchman, he became animated. Well, not that animated, but more animated than he had been.
That's the one. He tried to break into the warehouse the other night.
He did he?
You're sure?
Or maybe I just like stringing you along for fun.
Well, I'm sure you would love to do that, but come on, man. We're friends now.
What happened?
I scared him off. I'd like to know where he is now, though. It doesn't look good to have people get away with breaking into a place like this. Bad for our reputation.
Oh, I'm sure. Because everyone respects you, and this would just put a total stop to all those dinner party invitations.
Oi, watch it.
Oi, watch it.
Heard of the Milka?
Sure, put it in my coffee,
Put it in my coffee.
It's a ship.
Yeah, I know. Just winding you up.
Well, I'm already about as tightly wound as I'm going to get. Unless you were planning to use me as an alarm clock, I'd start thinking about being cooperative.
Where's the fun in that?
The Milka?
Oh, yeah. All I can tell you is that they unloaded their cargo here.
What was their cargo?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that. That'd be violating Watchman cargo confidentiality.
There's no such thing.
Oh, all right. I just don't want to tell you then.
Oh, okay then.
Satisfied?
Yeah, I guess.
Ecstatic. Do you know a troll by the name of Malachite?
Sorry, I don't get to socialise much with this job. It's the night work, you know.
You wouldn't happen to know your way around the Salaci family mausoleum by any chance?
That's nothing to do with me.
Well, it was a long shot.
Do you know anything about the recent murders in Ankh-Morpork?
That's nothing to do with me.
You just sound more guilty by saying that. It's you, isn't it? No, he's pure as snow. He told us so.
I have a feeling I'll see you later.
I can't wait.
I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to bypass your impeccable security at some point. Like now.
If it wasn't for the watchman, I could probably get in through the doors.
Oh, it's dark enough. He won't see you.
As it was, I needed another plan.
Oh, all right. Like what?
The doors led into the warehouse itself, but the watchman wasn't about to let me in.
The watchman. Watchman.
I couldn't tell what the crates contained, and
And you couldn't care, but we do care about what cargo is in there. Ooh, we can go here. Ooh, a sneaky, sneaky way. Wait, there was an arrow. Okay, the arrow is there. Oh, it's just to go back. No, I'm just taking a walk. Don't mind me. River Ankh.
The River Ankh. Probably the only river in the universe on which you could chalk the outline of a corpse.
Lovely. Oh, a skylight.
The skylight sat on the roof, an inviting alternative entrance.
So I have the door or the skylight, but how do I get on the roof?
I wasn't the Disc's greatest climber, and the warehouse wasn't the easiest building to scale. I was going to need some help.
And I'm gonna get it, somehow.
I'd already had to dive onto the Ankh once. I wasn't about to do it again.
Oh, I think it's gonna happen again. So we need to get some help to get to the skyline or bypass this fool. We still don't have that much of an expert on mausoleums. Luton's office. Let's go here. Maybe someone else has popped into my office. Uninvited. No, still clear. It's good. Oh, hold on.
The note had been pushed under my door by Carlotta.
Luton, I am anxious to see you again and to find out how the case is going. Come to the von Uberwald mansion on Moon Pond Lane. Carlotta von Uberwald.
So, Carlotta was a member of the von Uberwalds, one of the richest and most reclusive families in Ankh-Morpork.
Oh, she must be an expert on mausoleums.
That explained why she could afford to offer to pay me so much. It didn't explain why she hadn't got around to paying me yet, but I could wait.
You don't want to make her angry. You don't want to make the Uberwalds angry.
At least until the rent was due.
Yeah. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Well, let's pay Carlotta a visit, since there's not much else going on, and she is probably the expert we need. Von Uberwald Mansion.
I already had a bad feeling about the Mundy case, but learning that my employer was a von Uberwald didn't fill me with confidence. I didn't know the facts about the von Uberwalds, but the rumors were bad enough.
May I help you, sir?
You could let me in for a start.
Very good, sir.
And don't call me sir.
Yes, sir.
As you wish, sir. May I take your coat and hat, sir?
Thanks, but no. I feel naked without them.
That must make it difficult to clean them.
Was that a joke?
I never joke, sir. It's not my job. I may lie, dissemble or deceive, but I never joke.
Look, I don't want you to take my coat, okay?
But of course, sir. Sir is welcome to drip all over the immaculate hardwood floor that I spent several hours polishing this morning, because Sir is a guest, and Sir is entitled to do whatever Sir wishes.
Nice house.
Sir's taste in architecture must be quite exquisite, to so accurately summarize the many splendid cornices and archaic stained-glass frescoes of this splendid Lorenzian building as nice.
Well, it is nice. A bit tacky, to be honest. Especially with that huge
You have
portrait.
a gift for making people feel welcome, don't you?
He's a natural.
One is blessed.
Blessed.
What do you know about a dwarf named Al-Khali?
Regrettably, sir, I know nothing about that person.
So what do you make of Carlotta, then?
Sir?
Carlotta. Carlotta von Uberwald. She does live here, doesn't she?
Indeed, sir. Sir is as dogged in his pursuit of the truth as he is determined to warp the incalculably valuable hardwood floor by his persistent dripping.
You're not going to give up on this hardwood floor thing, are you?
To be fair, I wouldn't give up either.
As ever, Sir is both astute and incredibly stubborn.
I mean, hardwood floors are incredibly valuable.
What about Carlotta?
She is also quite astute and most definitely stubborn.
What do you think about her, then?
I am not paid to form opinions, sir, merely to perform menial actions such as guarding the hardwood floor, a task I am, alas, failing in at the current time.
Will you shut up about the hardwood floor?
As Sir wishes. I will no longer mention how Sir is irrevocably damaging timber felled by the hand of the 77th Earl of Ankh. Boards that have lain here for longer than Sir has been alive, and that were first laid before Sir's father was even a glint in the eye of his grandfather, whomsoever that may have been.
All right. But I understand where he's coming from.
You wouldn't happen to know your way around the Salaci family mausoleum by any chance?
Sir has many questions, but alas, I have few answers.
And all the answers you have are about hardwood floors, let me guess. Can you just, let me in?
I'll be back. I bet you can't wait.
Indeed, sir. My anticipation is almost tangible.
Go and polish that floor, will you?
Oh, okay. I think I need to show him the invitation.
Hello again.
I take it Sir still does not wish for me to take Sir's coat.
Probably not.
No.
Very good, sir. Please feel free to continue to damage the priceless hardwood floor.
I will. All right. Invitation.
I have an invitation from Carlotta.
Ah, Sir is as quick to reach the point of Sir's visit as a tortoise with a war wound is in crossing a very large desert.
Hey, watch it. You don't need to be this sassy.
I will fetch Mistress Carlotta for Sir, provided Sir would be so kind as to wait here and not to touch the valuable and irreplaceable furniture that adorns the room Sir is currently dripping on.
I'll see what I can do.
I'll do my best. Yeah, you skedaddle away.
The large wooden doors led back out into the cold and rain. I wasn't that anxious to use them.
What about the big-ass portrait?
The painting bore a striking resemblance to Carlotta.
The Duchess Charlotte von Uberwald, née Leopoldine. My predecessor, in a sense.
Oh? Are you a duchess?
No. But the resemblance is impressive, isn't it? My husband was struck by it from the moment I met him.
Where is your husband?
Dear Ulrich passed away during a civil uprising in Uberwald several years ago. Quite a terrible business, actually. Peasants, pitchforks, burning torches, the usual sort of thing.
Usual?
For Uberwald, certainly. Their ways may seem barbaric, but it's just the way things have always been done. If there wasn't a civil uprising every few years, I do believe the nobility would be most disappointed. Dying at the hands of a mob in a burning castle is practically traditional.
Tradition important to you, is it?
Ever the investigator, eh, Luton? Even your employer isn't beyond suspicion.
My old boss used to say that everyone was guilty of something.
And what are you guilty of?
Too many things, sweetie, but nothing you need to know about. You wanted to know how the case was going.
A girl's got to have hobbies.
I think I'm getting somewhere.
We're all getting somewhere, Luton. The question is, am I going to like where you're going?
I guess we'll just have to find that out the old-fashioned way.
The traditional way.
That's me, an old-fashioned girl.
Like the girl in the picture.
The Duchess? She was quite a trendsetter in her era. She wore her dress so high, you could almost see her ankles.
Almost.
My heart is pounding at the thought. So what's the story with you and Ulrich?
Do you believe in love at first sight, Luton?
It saves a lot of time, certainly.
Ulrich fell for me the moment we met. I guess seeing that painting every day probably helped.
Don't sell yourself short. You have a few assets of your own. I'm sure it was an equitable transaction.
You think I married him for his money?
Did you?
Let me tell you something, Luton. I've been rich and I've been poor. Rich is better.
What? Since when is rich better?
Did you love him?
Does it matter?
It matters to me.
Maybe I did. I guess it depends on what love is.
Love is a moment of weakness that allows someone to hurt you more than you ever thought possible. Men were given the strength to be brutes to women, and women were given love to wreak their revenge.
Who was she, Luton?
Who?
The one who left you with such a high opinion of women. She must have been quite a gal.
Yeah, she's in the city.
I don't have much to tell you about the case, I'm afraid.
You still haven't found Mundi?
Not yet. I might do a better job if I had more money at my disposal.
Ah, yes, of course. You haven't been paid yet.
No, I haven't, incidentally.
Well, it had crossed my mind.
Very briefly, though.
I'm sure I could sort something out.
I didn't doubt that she could. The question was, would she? And more to the point, when would she?
The quest for getting paid.
What can you tell me about the Duchess?
The Duchess Charlotte von Uberwald. Born Charlotte Ameliorati Victoire Tangerine Leopoldine, she married the Duke when she was 13, which was the style at the time. She was considered a risque dilettante by most of the nobility of Uberwald, and rumors abounded that she caused the heart attack that killed the Marquis of Grandmal when she showed him her naked knees.
Oh, scandalous.
Her corset was said to be so tight that her first pregnancy went into extra time, and her first and only son had learned his first word by the time he was born.
You're pretty good on this family history business, then.
I dabble.
You seem to know a lot of family history.
I need your help.
I'm not hard to get, Luton. All you have to do is ask.
Well, I'm asking.
I need your knowledge. I need to find a particular tomb in the Salaci Mausoleum, but I don't know enough about genealogy. You do.
The Selaci Mausoleum? That could be trouble.
Don't worry. I'm not going to mess with the tombs. I know better than to offend a family whose ties with the Assassin's Guild go back to its very foundation. I just want to see if someone's buried there.
Who's the stiff?
A troll named Therma.
A dead troll? You don't get much stiffer than that, I suppose.
Will you help me or not?
Of course, although I'm not really properly dressed for a mausoleum. You don't mind waiting while I get changed?
It's not like Therma's going anywhere.
At least I hope not. Zombie trolls. Now that's a thought.
If Sarah is not too busy, the master of the house wishes a word with you.
And if I am too busy?
The master of the house still wishes a word with you, and I shall be forced to beg.
And then you'll be forced to force me.
That sounds like it could be fun.
Did I say beg, sir? I meant resort to violence.
In which case, lead the way.
Mr. Luton. As I understand it, my daughter-in-law has retained you to investigate a certain matter for her.
Those are some nice slippers. How about some shorts? Or pants?
That's correct.
Then I take it you will be a frequent visitor to my house.
Perhaps.
It seems likely.
Do you know who I am?
You're pantsless old man.
I know that they call you the Count.
Count Pantsless.
Do you know why they call me the Count?
You like counting?
Because I am a Count. Count Henning von Uberwald. One of the Blints von Uberwalds, I ought to add, because frankly, Uberwald had an uncountable number of counts. And I'm trapped in Ankh-Morpork at the moment because my current infirmity prohibits me from leaving this room.
That doesn't explain why you wanted to see me.
I wish to know what my daughter-in-law has you investigating.
That's between me and her.
No, Mr. Luton. I rather suspect it isn't. You see, Carlotta's hands are not on the von Uberwald purse strings, but mine are.
So you're saying I won't get paid unless I tell you what I'm doing?
No, I'm implying that.
Man, I just want to pay my rent. Why is it so difficult? I mean, it's a simple transaction. You want me to be your PI?
Whether or not you actually get paid is a different issue.
You want me to be your PI? You pay me.
What's it to you?
I get very bored.
You know what's fun? Trying to put on pants.
I'm interested as to what goes on around me.
All right. I'm tracking someone for her.
Someone who is missing?
That's right. A man named Mundy.
Oh, I see. Very well. If you keep me informed on the progress of the case periodically, I will ensure that you receive payment.
So if I keep you informed on how the Mundy case is going, you'll ensure that I get paid?
As much as it is in my power to do so, yes.
And what if I mention this to Carlotta? Maybe she's got the money from other sources and doesn't need the family money.
A possibility. Very well. I'll offer to pay you irrespective of whether Carlotta pays you herself.
Hey, good deal. I'm gonna get paid by 2 people to do the same work.
That seems a little unethical. I'd be betraying the trust of a client.
Oh yeah, there's also that. But there's also twice the pay.
I'll pay you twice your usual fees.
Well, what do you know? Suddenly I've resolved all my ethical dilemmas.
Yeah, simple, easy peasy transactions.
Ethics are a salve for the poor, Luton.
I am the poor.
You sound as if you are proud of the fact.
The poor are often prouder than the rich. They know that what they have can't be taken away.
Why would anyone want to take their poverty away?
I didn't say the poor were smart. I said they were proud.
The conservatory.
You said you have to stay in the conservatory. Why?
I'm not a well man, Mr. Luton. It is hard to say how long I have for this world, or indeed if the next world will take me.
What's so special about the conservatory?
Ankh-Morpork is too hot and humid for my tastes. I had the conservatory built especially. It's colder than the rest of the house. I keep it at the temperature I feel most comfortable with.
Why so cold?
You ask too many questions.
I'm an investigator. It's my job.
Well, be thankful that I find your impertinence charming, or else I might be forced to teach you a lesson.
In your condition?
You would be surprised at just what I can do in my condition, Mr. Luton.
Mr. Luton.
So the von Uberwalds are wealthy then?
Not compared to some, but we have more than enough to look after our own.
Is Carlotta one of your own?
When she married into us, she became a part of us.
You sound like you don't approve.
My opinions of Carlotta are not the issue. Traditions and ties of blood are stronger than opinions.
But there is no tie of blood between you and Carlotta. She married into the clan.
Mr. Luton, there are ties of blood between all the von Uberwalds. In Uberwald, blood is very important.
Is incest important to you? Maybe. Maybe they just do the Targaryen thing.
So you're a count.
I am the Count.
What's it like?
It's fine, although one does get the occasional burning desire to tear out the throat of people who ask too many questions.
Alright, moving on.
Do I have to draw you a picture?
Nope. No, we're good. The von Uberwalds. Another case. Ayy.
Do you know the Salaci mausoleum at all?
I'm aware of it. The Selaci family and the von Uberwalds do occasionally mix in polite society.
By polite society, you mean high society.
Well, certainly out of your reach.
Is there any chance you could show me around it?
Mr. Luton, there is little chance that I will leave this room for you or anyone else, let alone travel halfway across town to give you a guided tour of a mausoleum. Also, I confess, it would bring back happy memories of when I was dating.
You took your dates to a mausoleum?
Cool.
Sometimes my dates lived in mausoleums.
Ew.
You dated the dead?
No, the undead.
Oh, well, that's okay then.
They can be terrible bores sometimes, but most vampires are terribly well bred.
Have you heard of a singer named Madame Lodestone?
These days, the only people I know are those who come to the mansion.
Oh, all this money, and so alone.
What can you tell me about Monday?
I'm afraid I can tell you nothing. But I would be interested in what you have to say about...
Carlotta says he's an ex-lover and she suspects him of cheating on her.
And you believed her?
Whether I believe her or not is immaterial.
It really doesn't matter why. Carlotta is looking for Mundy, probably an ex-lover, but there's much more to it. It's just that the Count seemed a little sad or distracted when we told him that we were searching for a guy named Mundy. It's like he doesn't really care about that. He was hoping for another name.
Do you know anything about the Milka?
I'm sorry, but I don't get out of the conservatory much.
Do you know anything about the recent murders?
There are always murders in Uberwald. I don't see why these should be any different.
I was talking about the murders here in Ankh-Morpork.
Mr. Luton, I couldn't be less interested in the petty crimes of this wretched city.
Alright, well, it's been nice meeting you, Mr. the Count.
I'll be back later.
I look forward to it.
Remember to send me money.